Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of I Cry Every Day. Um, well, this was not intentional. I just wanted to rant and just let out everything that I've been going through in my head, and yeah, just talking about it out loud because it will make me feel better. So, yeah, you guys will make me feel better by lending me your listening ear, and that is all. Or, completely ignore it. Um, but there's a lot of things, sort of, not really, to talk about. And hopefully, I don't run around in circles about things that I've already talked about before. But that's who I am. I keep going around in circles until I run it dry. But to keep myself organized, I don't have the whiteboard with me. The whiteboard is over there. But my sister's occupying it. And it's technically hers, so yeah. Anyways, I wrote down notes on my notepad and I stuck them to the window. So if you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at the notes, and hopefully not because I'm looking outside the window and like distracted by nature and the birds. So yeah, anyways, let's get into it. At first, when I thought or decided that I wanted to do a little sit down video, I was like, everything that's going on in my head and like the things that I want to talk about, or the things that I'm just like, like I just want to like vent out. It just sounded like negative Nancy, and I didn't want to be too negative because there's also like good things too happening, and also like, you know, the universing type of like stuff too. So it's not, so it won't be all too sappy. But I had an idea that maybe I start out with like the low energy stuff first, and then slowly work my way up and go into like, oh, but here are some things to look forward to, or things that I will bring it back down to earth and into my heart. So yeah, I forget what it's called, but I tried to make a chart. I will put the chart up here. Editor Karen, put the chart here. It's like a vibrancy, energy, frequency type of thing, where like the low energy is like fear and, all those negative energies, and then it slowly goes like up, and then the bigger, higher energy is like love and positive energy and all those, good things. So yeah, that is what I'm gonna try to do. We're gonna work our way from the bottom to the top. Um, this kind of sucks, and I don't know how I'll get into it because I wrote down notes about each section. But a big part of me wants to like go into details, but another part of me is like, Karen, they don't know all the details, and also it's probably not a good idea to let them know all of the details. So yeah, I'm gonna be kind of broad about it, but hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. Hopefully you guys get the gist. And there was something else that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, this is also kind of awkward to start out because like it literally is 12:50, and obviously I was thinking about this in the morning while laying in bed. So preparing for this, and then afterwards like making breakfast, and just starting my day and just watching starting I made breakfast, and then I went upstairs and I started watching Practical Magic because they put it for free on YouTube, so very fitting. I'm not finished though. I'm like in the middle of the movie, but now I'm kind of just like, okay, I'm not in that like mood now. So it feels weird to like jump down to that and be like, okay, so here is what has been going on, to then slowly work my way back up to like, okay, here I am now, but I'm still trying to work out like the kinks here and there. So yeah. Anyways, So recently I've been a little bit like, I want to say annoyed, but kind of like, yeah, just annoyed because um I was out driving with my sister and we were shopping because I needed to get stuff for my interview this week. And um yeah, I was just trying to be like on budget. Like, I have no money as of the moment. So I was just like, Karen, just restrict yourself. Like, you came in here to get the one thing and get out. Okay. Don't spend on any more things that you really don't need. And my sister brought up, she was like, are you even getting like an allowance or anything? Because you guys know I have no job right now. Um, the job of being a good daughter and a good homemaker. Um, yeah. And I was like, no, no, I'm not. Um, it's complicated. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. And it's just kind of annoying because I, there's no control in that for me, but to the other person being, I'm sorry to say it, my mother. As much as I love that lady, she is crazy cuckoo. It's very weird because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, but the narcissistic parent and emotionally immature parent is really something, and I don't know if people talk about it enough, but it's just so like annoying and triggering and just like it just makes me want to like rip my eyes out because of how annoying it is. So I was like, no, no, it's okay, my time will come, and whether I will get compensated one way or another, whether it is through my own or by some miracle through her, whenever she feels like it, where that is like the manipulative, confusing, and controlling part, and the inconsistent part of it. And I'm just like, it's annoying. So yeah, I just felt like, now that you bring it up, like it's been in the back of my mind, like, it's been a while since I've gotten an allowance, and I don't want to be like, I don't want to sound um like a spoiled child or anything, but it just feels weird being the child but also taking on the role of being a caretaker and somewhat of a homemaker, but then not being like, not having a reward back besides like, yeah, I have a roof over my head, but like having to still deal with like the emotional abuse and even earlier on physical abuse, but like more so emotional and mental abuse and verbal abuse. It's just really mind-boggling. And I'm at a place where I can like separate the two, which is like, I guess like a lot easier now, but it's still a little frustrating because we live in the house together. So it's like I can try to separate my emotions and her emotions and my actions and her actions as much as I can. But at the end of the day, we live under the same roof. So, in my head, I'm picturing like you can keep your food separated, but there's still going to be touching. And so it's just like a little bit irritating. Yeah. So that's what I've been going through. And yeah, I think I've been like low key trying to not think about it too much, but then like I started to ruminate on it a little bit and just be like, yeah, why not? And just be like, oh yeah, I forgot, because it just feels like I'm chopped liver at the end of the day. because of that. So it just made me like upset and sad and like angry, because it's just like, well, why am I doing all this? Why am I continuing to do like play my role and stuff? But then I'm also like, well, I have nothing else to do in the meantime. And also, these are things that I like to do that I put on myself. But then it became a role that was like, oh yeah, and you do that too. And it's just like, it was my job in the first place and I was already gonna do that, so you don't need to tell me, type of feeling, if that makes any sense. I don't know. So yeah, so that was part one of low energy. Now we're gonna move on to part two of like the in between. And the in between, I'm gonna say, is like sadness, anxiety, worry, annoyance. I'm just reading off of my notepad. Apathy, indifference. Half of these words I don't know, but you know, you get the gist. So yeah, there's that low energy where I was just like frustrated, and I was like, girl, why? You know, I don't even know. It was just like it was like a reminder of, remember when, you know, this was like a stab in the back, a slap in the face, a toss of chopped liver and turd on the side. Yeah, it felt like that. And I was just like, this is messed up. And it was, oh my gosh, I wonder if that's like considered a trigger. In the back of my head, it's like, yes, that is a trigger, and that is what you felt. So yeah, the lighting has changed because of the clouds. So yeah, okay, let me make note of that. That was a trigger. So where am I? Discombobulated. Inconsistent. Oh yes. Okay, so like the annoyance, the worry, the anxiety, what is apathy? I should search it up, but I'm scared to like move my laptop because you guys don't understand, like this phone is propped up in a weird way. So any movement, this could fall and like I want to say break my keyboard, but I really hope it doesn't. I don't think it will. So she is balancing on the Mac screen right now. So as you know, that is very thin. I don't know how I'm doing it. It's also leaning against like the air conditioner. So yeah, anyways. What was I talking about? Yes, anxiety. So now I'm getting like low-key anxiety because I'm like reflecting back and thinking like, hey Karen, before you get all like angry and now my body's going to go into like silent treatment or what is that, what's the word where you like respond in like short answers, like that kind of like attitude, like basically giving an attitude because all of a sudden I got triggered and now I'm like pissed at everyone and everything. So before I get there, I'm telling myself like, okay, but like we knew this. So, and also if you get like this, your aura and everything is going to affect the people around you, and they're not going to know what they did wrong, and it's going to be like, well, you know, it's going to be kind of triggering for them and off-putting. And I don't want to do that because they didn't do anything. And it's also like annoying too because if I went another route, like what's the word? Oh my gosh. Like confronting the issue. I already tried confronting the issue before with like, hey, you know, doesn't hurt to ask, but like, you know, I'm doing a lot and I'm spending my own money, my own energy, my own time. well, I guess not the time part, because I could use my own time for something else. I can't put all of the blame on one person, because I decided to be unemployed, and yeah. And I decided not to look for a job or go forward with you know, selling my soul somewhere else. But gosh, it's like burning two candles on not two candles. It's like burning one candle on both ends. So I can't put all the blame, but it's like my brain is like, but you can't have everything. And I'm like, no, I can't have everything, but the least I could have is like, space to breathe. Like, I can't have air. Anyways, just a little like, hey, some human decency. Like, please, can I have some bread? And it's like, no, not even that. They're just like, get out of here, you scumbag, patooey. And I'm just like, okay, but I'll continue to sell the newspapers and shine your shoes just to make you happy, just to keep the peace under this roof here that you let me live under, sir. It's that kind of feeling. It's not literally like that, but emotionally and mentally it feels like that, and it's annoying, it's aggravating, and as much as I would love to be or as I come off as like submissive and like soft, there comes a point where I can't no more, and I get angry, and I don't like getting angry, and I don't like that I don't like getting angry, because I don't know the type of person I truly am when I'm like at 100% like anger and destruction, and that scares me. And I think that's telling, but I don't know telling of what. But yeah, I like to keep her at bay. So, yeah. That's another story for another time. Yeah, so I'm just like being aware, and I'm trying to like check myself and being like, okay, but we knew this already, and there's no point in fighting, because you can't fight with a narcissist. They will find a way to weasel their way out of being like pointed fingered at, and being like being the problem. And I was like, I'm not going to spend my energy already like trying to fight for my justice. So that was like another annoying thing on top of it. And yeah, like I'm doing that in my head, but at the same time on the outside I'm like, okay, today we're going to do our routine, and we're going to go to this doctor appointment, and we're going to be patient, we're going to be caring, and we're going to be understanding, and we're going to try our best to help and translate, and try not to make the mood awkward while trying to put up with an unbearable person. Yeah. Like knowing that this is the type of person that they are. Like they're not unbearable every second they breathe, but it's just like just knowing how that person can be. I don't know how I've made it this far without like exploding. I don't explode, I just cry. And honestly, that's the point of today's episode, and that's the reason why I named it this, because I have literally been like low-key crying every day, but it's tears of, frustration, and tears of like happiness, love too, but not for this situation, of course. So yeah, emotional roller coaster. But also like juggling that, and then juggling internally that. But then when I have my moments alone, I try to just like ride out those emotions, so that way I don't have it bottled up, and I'm not like randomly like, Rawr! I already explained that, I feel like. Yeah. So yeah, writing out emotions is hard because you have to feel it and be like, like validating those emotions and being like, yeah, that happened and that sucks. And it's weird because like writing out those emotions, I'm imagining like a conveyor belt, and it's like, here's this ball of emotion, and then like it's like and then it gets broken up into categories, and then I gotta put them in different subsections. That's what I'm picturing in my head. And it's a struggle because some of it I can use that like broken up pieces of fire and then breaking it into other subcategories, and I can use it for like validation. Is this right? I don't know if this is right. Okay, I'm gonna continue to express what I'm feeling. Like some of it I use as like validation for, yeah, I would be upset. You have a right to be upset. And then also putting in another section of like using it as a motivation to like be strong for myself and to try and push forward and do better and be better and have better in the future. So yeah. But I don't want it to be mainly off of that either. Like I don't want like my fuel to have a better life be because of hatred. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's the middle part of like just the anxiety and the sadness and the annoyance and the apathy and the indifference. I gotta look up these words later. But yeah, it's just that middle part is just like where I need to put in that meme of DW where she's just like, because this section is basically it is what it is, you know, and that sucks. But at least I'm aware, and at least I am processing it and processing it, and like I don't know if there's a word for it, but like being useful about it or finding use in it. I mean, I don't have to, but like that's my brain just continuing to comb through and validate and find resources. I'm like imagining this is LOL. This is like when you eat food and it's like, I'm eating food because I'm hungry, but then your body's like, okay, now let's take this food apart and let's put the nutrients of where it needs to go in these different compartments of your organs, and whatever doesn't belong, go and turn to waste. Which brings us into chapter 3, which is my favorite number. So the last part, which is good things. Okay, so good things. So now we're moving on to contentment, confidence, hope, optimism, enthusiasm, kindness, gratitude, joy, peace, and unconditional love. Yeah. So about the part where I'm like digesting all of this and being like, like whatever is useful, put those in those compartments, and whatever's not useful, she's waste, she's trash. Let it go. And yeah. So I want to include letting go a part of the higher part, because letting go is just as important as to what am I saying? Letting go is just as important than holding on. You know? Yeah. There's like a lot of things going on through my head right now that I say that. Let me try to comb my thoughts. I sit here for 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Hold on. I'm losing my train of thought because it literally came in like and then it just started like getting quiet again. Okay, letting go is just as important as holding on. And okay, now I have to talk about holding on and why holding on is a good thing and holding on is also not a good thing. Um, Holding on is a good thing because it shows that you want to keep fighting. But sometimes at that point, you're not like you want to keep fighting, and we know that in your spirit. But sometimes holding on for too long to something, whether it's like something physical or mental or emotional and stuff like that, it can do more damage because at that point, I don't know if it turns into like a selfishness type of thing, but I think it definitely turns into like an ego or pride type of thing, which shouldn't which shouldn't be out of love, because that sounds really controlling, and it is controlling at the point because now you're physically like you really are like holding on, and you're really squeezing the life out of whatever you're holding on, that there's like literally no juice or life left, and that by the time you like open your palm up to see what you were holding on so tight to, it's like kind of like not dead, but like just like whatever that means. Um, so yeah. But letting go isn't like a bad thing either. Not in the sense of just like tossing things aside of just, but letting go of like seeing the things, whether it's physical or emotional or whatever, for what they are, and appreciating it for what it is, whether it is good or bad or not. I don't know if you need to appreciate it, but like, but just seeing it for what it is, and being like, and that is life, and that is life, and I see you, I understand you, if there is any part where you can understand it, but like, I see you for what you are, and I pray you live the rest of you continue to live a life that is yours, but this is where I leave you. This is where I drop you off. This is where I am dropped off, and I no longer need you, because now I know, I see, and yeah, that's the letting go aspect. And we continue on our ways, and my house is this way, your house is that way, bye, that type of feeling. Yeah, lol, I made letting go sound like it's not like a toss aside, but I'm also like, bye, my house is this way, gotta go. Yeah, like, yeah, I don't need to explain anymore. We spent our time together to understand enough, and now we're gonna part ways. And if we don't part ways, then we'll just, constantly be walking and being confused. And we don't want that. We want to be like, right. Okay, let me go and try to figure out the rest on my own. So that way it feels more like your life. You are still player one. You are still in control of your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so to help move forward with love and hope and love, that's a big part. Oh wait, my notes are right here. Yes. Self-soothe. Understand the past, assess the present, and move forward with hope and love, after letting go. Because Delulu is the Salulu. Am I making sense right now? I don't think I'm making any sense. I have all these puzzle pieces. You guys know how to put it together. Yeah, Delulu is the Salulu, and not like Delulu like crazy, but like Delulu as in hopeful, and just being like, oh my god, I look forward to like, the next day and what it brings and what I can make out of it, type of thing. And that is what has been pulling me out of my trashy hole. That sounds off. What's the word? Out of my slump of just like, ugh, this is my past, and like this is where I came from, and you know, I feel like a raccoon, and just being like, yeah, this is the old barn house, you know what I'm saying? They call it a garbage can, but you know, tomato. So, yeah, that's what helped me pulled out of that trash can and be like, hey, you know, that sucks, but that it doesn't always have to suck, and you're not always going to be in this house, and you're not always going to be in this continuous cycle of like, wow, I just feel like chopped liver because of the way I'm currently being treated or underlyingly being treated, which, you know, capitalism, which, you know, like society, but you know, whatever. But having hope and being like, but you know what, let me do this for myself. Let me do this because I know that I can have good things. I've seen other people have good things, and I can have those things too. Not as a comparison, or not as like a, oh, because you have that bag, I want to get a bag too. But just like, I don't know, like gifting yourself. And I don't want to say parenting yourself, but like, yeah, not parenting yourself, but just giving love back to yourself. Yes, okay, yeah, that makes sense, okay. Yeah, so that's been helping me a lot. And also, yeah, in a way that is some form of manifestation as well. Yeah, in a way that's a manifestation as well. The sirens. I don't know if you guys can hear the sirens. Probably not through this mic. This mic is really like, she's dying on me. I don't even know if you guys can hear me that well because it's probably all muffled and stuff. Yeah. So just looking forward to the future, not knowing the future, but kind of like, you know, I'm gonna try my best to build and make something. And yeah, and then, you know, that's a whole nother story of like the future and what it is that I truly want, what we truly want. Like, you really gotta like separate yourself from everyone because there's so many options, and you just really gotta remember to hear your own inner voice. I don't even know if I'm making any sense right now because I feel like I'm really jumping around, but like, the purpose part of the future, like, oh, what's my purpose, and like, what am I supposed to do in this lifetime? That stuff, that's a whole nother conversation that I've had many times with myself and with you guys. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, some music has been also helping me. Music has also been helping me get out of that slump, because if you know, you know, and if you don't know, that's okay, because you're gonna know. But as you know, I'm back in my K-pop bag, and by I'm back in my K-pop bag, I mean I am slipping back into the diamond life. And by slipping, I mean I already slipped, fell, got a concussion, and I'm in the diamond life. I'm living in the diamond world, and that is the world of 17. My favorite group that I will ride or die till the very end, and they made a comeback today. Well, not today, yesterday, and I just love them so beeping much. And they're having a freaking world tour, and B, the tickets are sold out for New York, and I'm so mad because those resale tickets are like thousands of dollars, and I'm like, what the beep? Like, I know that's not the original price, and these people who are reselling it for that much are literally like going to the concert and also getting a bag as well. Like, they said, I'm gonna go to the concert and make twice as much for going to the concert because I just resold that chair next to me. Like, girl, that is so mean. That's so selfish. Like, Ticketmaster, get it straight. What economy do we live in? We don't have one. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I didn't have enough money in the first place, but like, seeing that, it doesn't give me hope for like the next time when I do have the funds to go. So yeah. So I've been seeing videos of their first stop, which is somewhere in South Korea. I think it's in Goyang. But they were singing songs that I've been listening to because I was like, oh my god, I fell out of 17 and I need to like catch up and stuff. Like, for some reason, some way, somehow, I don't know why, but I've seen all of their comeback title songs and heard of it, but I haven't like listened to like, you know, the B-side and the rest of the tracks. So I've been listening to the rest of the tracks and stuff, and this was like since last year that I've been like, yeah, 17. And there's this one song called If You Leave Me. Anyways, I love that track, and I've been listening to it nonstop since I first heard it, and it was in like I think it was like my top song that I've been listening to on Spotify. So she was like number 1, I think. And I was like, period, yeah, because that song is literally like, you know, if you watch Pride and Prejudice, if you watch Bridgerton, if you know an enemies to lovers, or just like a passionate confessional love scene or moment in a book anywhere, that is that song. That song is heartbreaking. It is. I wish I had the lyrics right here, but in a gist, it is basically like them saying like, who am I without you? You are the reason that I breathe. You are the reason for my life. And if you leave me, what is my life anymore? I'm nothing without you. And yeah, the ballads, the vocal layering, and just all the ad-libs is just so scrumptious. And yeah, and they sang that song at concert, and oh my god, B, I was literally like, since last year I was like, oh my god, if they have another world tour and if they play the song, B, I'm crying. And they're playing the song and I'm not gonna see them and I'm crying. So there's that. What else was there that I was gonna say? What else? Oh yeah, and I mean, well, this is just an added bonus, but there's another song from 17 that I like called Ash, and it's more like upbeat and more like, yeah, we're tough, like we're the phoenix rising from the ashes type of song. And they are also playing that live too on their concert, and there's this one line from Vernon, who's a member in the group, and he raps in this verse, and his verse is so beeping good. And god, I wish I had the lyrics, but it goes like, oh my god, he talks about metamorphosis, born in fire, then I fly away. And I was like, ooh, yeah, bars, like that's fire, like yeah, exactly that part right there. So yeah, I'm just happy that they're, you know, playing the songs that I really love from their previous albums. but I am a little sad because I won't be there in person. But I'm also happy because now there's a live version, so yay! And I can see it through other people's eyes and videos. So yeah, there's that. What else was I writing? Oh yeah, and I'm pretty excited about the interview coming up. I'm really this is where the Delulu, like the crazy Delulu comes in. Well, actually I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm looking forward to doing the IT training. I don't really know what to feel for the moment. And I think that's why I was like switching around a lot, because I was like, I don't really have an interest right now. I don't know what it is that I want to do and what it is that's bringing me excitement. Like I just need something, and I know that something needs to be me getting out the house, but I also don't want that something to be like sucking my fire out of me, you know? So yeah, I'm looking forward to the IT thingy. I'm looking forward to the interview. I'm a little nervous for the interview, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know why they're doing an interview, but it's a group interview, so I'm assuming. At first I was like, oh, all of us are already in, but it's an interview, so like maybe they're only selecting a few people because they can only give out so many free training to so many people. So I'm like, am I smart enough? Am I fit enough? I don't know. But I'm Karen. So it's like some people, some places, they have room for someone like me. And some places they're like, this girl a little weird. So yeah, that I'm trying my best not to think of this is the little part. I'm trying my best not to think about like, oh, and how will I meet my, future spouse through this. I need to freaking like not think about that. But sometimes when I'm not doing anything, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking like, will I meet them through this training? Will they be my mentor? Will I meet them through like internship? Or like, will I meet them through my first IT gig? And what will they be doing? And how will I really see them enough for me? Like, because I would be an IT person, so like, I'm just like trying to figure out the logistics. And me knowing me, I'm not supposed to, because I ruined the surprise for myself. The universe has told me and showed me time and time and time, and I've done it to myself, where I know myself to this point, where I've done it time and time and time again, where I just ruin things. Like as much as I love to be prepared and just be like, but I already know, I predicted that. The universe says, psych, you didn't predict nothing. And I'm just like, so I need to like calm down on that. But that's somewhat exciting. Like maybe it's somewhat exciting in the fact that I'm pushing myself more outside of the box of creativity and getting out there and meeting more people and different people, and hopefully meeting the love of my life, and being able to have my own place and have pets, and being able to be like, oh yeah, I can go out and hang out and eat out or party. Well, actually, I'm not really a party person, I've come to realize, so maybe not that. But like, go take vacations, or go to concerts, or buy things without being like, please, sir. So yeah, I look forward to getting there, and this IT training will be me getting there. So yeah. That is it. That is all. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I hope whatever I said about the the narcissism and fighting it, but then also being like, hey, you gotta pick and choose your battles, and being self-aware enough to do that for yourself, and then giving the love back to yourself, because whatever's not working, let it go, because they are not going to understand. And yeah, all of that. In summary, all of that. But yeah, today is just Tuesday, but I hope that I have a good week, and wishing myself luck on the group interview. I'm sure it'll be fine though. I'm sure it will be fine though, not this. And I hope that you guys have a good week too, or had a good week. And if you didn't, then I hope next week will be a good week. Next week, hopefully we'll have a fun video. It might be a little late because we're still deciding on what to do, because of course it's Halloween. So, look out for that. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.